Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Friday, February 14th, 2025. Back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And yes, it's that day that somebody somewhere setting it out. Roses, chocolate, getaway, dinner, Valentine's Day. Some man somewhere doing a spectacular job to show the woman of his dreams how much she means to him. Only for her to leave him 3 years from now. Happy Friday! Happy Valentine's Day. If I sound bitter, I'm not. Anyway, so this particular topic here, I gotta hit the barbershop today, y'all. Woo! I gotta be my own Valentine today. Can't be around here looking like this. And look at this. Hat, coat. Yes. Short sleeves yesterday. Ooh, today. Which ties in, which ties in to this topic. Beautiful weather yesterday. Damn near freezing today. Just like that. That ties perfectly into this topic. Now they teach you growing up, we may not have listened, may not pay no attention. Prepare for your future. Take care of your body. Go to school. Get your education. Work hard. Prepare for your future. Being able to get a good job, career. Provide for yourself and your family. Prepare for your future. That's what we've been taught, right? And we've been taught that's how you prepare for your future. Getting your education. Learning a skill. Getting a wife or a husband. Getting a family. Roof over your head. Clothes on your back. Something to drive. That's how you prepare for your future. So we was taught. But they left out something. That right there is preparing you for the good times. That right there is preparing you to have a good life. Get you a great education. Get you a great career, great family. You do all that, right? You done everything you're supposed to do to have a great life. So therefore, that's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to live a good life if you do everything according to the book. How it's supposed to be done. Work hard. You're going to have a great life. Prepare yourself for your future. I got something different to tell you. To prepare for. Which is more important than preparing for your great job. More important than preparing for that great wife or husband. And your little bundle of joy that y'all have 9 months later. You got to prepare for this if you want to have a good life. You got to prepare to suffer. You got to be ready to suffer. You got to be able to suffer if you want to have a good life. Sound crazy on me? Because in order to have a good life, you're going to have to go through some suffering. So yes, you prepared all that other stuff. Your education. You got your plans laid out. You sticking to the plan. But if you ain't planned and prepared to suffer, if you ain't got suffering, number one on the list that you need to learn how to do and be ready to do, you ain't gonna achieve nothing. You ain't gonna have nothing. I don't care how hard you willing to work. You got to be able to suffer. Hold on. I had a video a few days ago, where I told men they must be able to be alone, or you ain't gonna make it. You're gonna die. If you don't have the ability to be alone, you're gonna die. But here's another. If you don't have the ability, you gotta be willing and able, ready, willing, and able to suffer. That should be your number one skill. If you want to achieve anything in life, if you want to have anything in life, if you want to survive life, you got to be ready, willing, and able to suffer. Your success is on the other side of suffering. You cannot and you will not achieve anything, and I mean anything, without suffering a little bit. The good book tells you you must be willing and you will have to suffer in this life. Sunny days, everybody loves them. But can you stand the rain? You will not achieve. Have you ever heard the saying that it takes discipline to achieve anything in life? Well, guess what discipline is? The ability, the willingness to suffer. Anything you want in life is going to be hard. And hard is suffering. Nothing easy. The fun stuff, the stuff you want to do, usually ain't the stuff that's going to get you where you want to be. To get you where you want to be, to live the life you want to live, you're going to have to do some things you don't want to do. You don't like to do. Getting up at 3 in the morning is suffering. But by you suffering, you're working towards a goal that's going to bring you some joy later on. The problem with our society now, the world we live in now, nobody wants to suffer. Nobody willing to suffer. Everything should come easy. No hard work, just give it to me. Entitled. You're supposed to give me this. I'm supposed to have this. I'm not supposed to have to work hard. It's not supposed to be a struggle. Hold on. Right now, in America, we have an obesity problem. We have health issues. Because in order to have the body and the health that you want, that you need, that you desire, everybody desires to be in shape. But because nobody is willing to do the suffering, because eating right, cutting out all that sugar and stuff you want to do, and doing only what you need to do, that's suffering. To get that body the way you want it, it's going to take some suffering. And we live in a society right now where nobody willing to suffer, so that's why pretty much everybody overweight. Losing weight ain't easy. Eating right ain't easy. That's a little suffering. Come with going to the gym every day. Getting on that treadmill every day. Eating that broccoli and vegetables every day. Putting that bag of potato chips down. There's some suffering involved. The majority of Americans are living check to check. Because believe it or not buying in and everything you want, that comes with some suffering. Especially if you got the money to deny yourself. The hardest person to tell no is you. That's suffering. If you are not gonna suffer, you're gonna suffer. Ain't that ironic? If you can't and will not suffer, you will suffer. People that are not willing to suffer a little bit, gonna suffer a lot. You're gonna suffer, the suffering coming. Either way, hard is coming. Those who are not willing to embrace it, it's gonna be worse on you than the people who face it head first and go at it. Hard is coming for everybody. I spent the majority of my life trying to avoid, running from suffering. And because of that, the majority of my life, I suffered. You're gonna suffer, whether you want to or not. You must embrace it. You must prepare for suffering more than you prepare for anything else. Being able to suffer is the most valuable ability and gift you can have in this life. It will take you anywhere. Just another word for discipline. Being able to suffer, have discipline, will take you anywhere you want to go. The majority of Americans are broke, overweight, unhappy, life miserable, suffering, because we weren't willing to suffer. Not understanding you're going to suffer whether you want to or not. So if there's something you want to do, something you need to do, there's going to be some suffering in the way to get to it. But you got to be willing to say, you know what, I'm just going to do the suffering for a little while to not suffer forever. You must understand that. You must be willing to know and understand that sometimes you're going to have to be alone. That there's going to be some people that tell you they love you and they don't. It's going to be some people that you thought was going to be there for you and they ain't. Prime example. This YouTube channel. All last year, Big Ward, we love you. We rocking with you, Big Ward. This year, people gone. I'm saying Big Ward. I appreciate y'all that are still here, but y'all see the numbers. It ain't just YouTube with the shadow ban. It's a lot of y'all. If I ain't saying what you want me to say, you gone. And I know that. I say that all the time. You got to give the people what they want. But my point is, there's no unconditional love. You rocking with me when I'm giving you what you want. And people are rocking with you when you're giving them what they want. When you realize that, that's suffering. That hurts. But you gotta be willing to accept it. The times we're living in right now, all of y'all know, is hard. There's a lot of suffering going on right now. A lot of people are suffering. And you listen to me, some of y'all you're suffering right now. I suffer. Times are hard right now. We're going through some difficult times. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. And those of you who are not willing to suffer, you're not going to make it to the better times. Because the better times are only on the other side of this suffering that we doing. Some of y'all ain't going to be willing to go through the suffering and you're going to be out of here. Or you're going to crash out. You're going to do something stupid. End up in prison, what have you, before the suffering ended. We got some rough times ahead of us. A lot of suffering ahead of us. And if you ain't willing to suffer, you ain't gonna make it to the better days. That's on the other side of the suffering. What you want in life always will be on the other side of some suffering. You gotta go through some suffering to get anything in life you want. Right now, whether y'all know it or not, we have a doctor shortage. Right here in my hometown of Mobile, Alabama, we got a clinic that's been open for years called Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. They closed them down because as the older doctors retire, they don't have no doctors to replace them with. They running out of doctors. You know why? Because being a doctor takes suffering. And we're in a society now where nobody wants to suffer. People only want to do easy stuff. Everybody want to be a content creator. Everybody want to be a rapper. Whatever. We don't want to do all that hard sacrifice, suffering. Everybody want to push a button, microwave, ding, I'm a success. And it don't work like that. So now we have a doctor shortage. Well, y'all know it or not. I know we do in Alabama, Mobile, where doctors retiring, and there's not enough doctors to come up behind them to replace them because people are not going to medical school because why? That shit hard. It's some suffering. And we ain't got enough people not willing to suffer for nothing. We don't want to suffer for a damn thing. Want everything easy. A participation trophy. I'm entitled. I want DEI. Give me something. It don't work like that. Be prepared to suffer. Be willing to suffer for a little while, or you're going to suffer forever. Get it, got it, good. Bye.